Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to another convention review. Today I'm going to be talking about Sakuracon 2024. So just like every one of these videos where I do these convention reviews, there will also be a companion video which will come out the exact same time and day as this video. And that is the con haul, which is actually all the stuff you see sprawled out here on the table, which I'm just not moving until I'm done with all this. I've had to record this a few times. But yeah, that video will be up in the corner or down in the description. So, Sakuracon 2024. There's really nothing much to say. The only things that were bad, I didn't really care about or didn't happen to me, so I can't give insight on it and I can't speak on it. So I'll just go over those couple of things for just right now. Just so we start with the bad stuff, then we can just end with a bunch of good stuff. This is gonna be short. So or as short as I can make it anyway. So the bad stuff, the main bad thing would have been stuff I heard on Facebook or stuff I read on Facebook. I saw that people were saying things like that the staff was rude and other stuff like that. I personally didn't have any rude interactions with staff. So again, that's stuff I can't speak on. I didn't experience it. So I would rather have someone who did experience that, have them speak on it. I can't have them on the channel doing that, obviously, because I don't know these people. But they're just people that I saw on Facebook. So if anybody sees this video who had that kind of experience, go ahead and in the comments, talk about it. Just like mention it so that people know. Because I don't want to say what they were doing because I can't say what they were doing. I don't know what happened. So give your experiences down in the comment section so that other people can see the good and bad of what has happened. If you've had good experiences too, go ahead and do that too for this year. Please only keep it to this year, by the way. Don't talk about previous years because this isn't about previous years. This is about this year only. So like if you had a good experience this year and you want to talk about that below, go ahead. Same with if you had a bad experience. So like I said, again, I'm just repeating myself a whole bunch, but I can't speak on that. So I'm not excusing anything. I'm not like excusing bad behavior by staff. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I didn't personally experience it. So I am not qualified to talk about it. So only the people who experienced it can talk about that and say what happened. So I'm leaving it to those people. The other thing was something I literally do not care about. And I know many others don't care about, but there are others who do care. It's just up to you if you care or not. We get little booklets and stuff, like a schedule in like a magazine-sized booklet. The schedule is usually like a black and white. I think Sakuracon does them still, or did them. I don't remember. I would have to go look. I have a bunch of that kind of stuff just stored away. But it was like a little black and white booklet that you could flip through and it had the schedule in it. And then a magazine-sized thing that you could flip through that like had panel descriptions, talked about what kind of guests were going to be there, talked about the different events they were holding, the dances, the costume contests, all that kind of stuff. So that was all in that booklet. And it was a pretty thick book. It was like a regular magazine-sized thickness. But this year, apparently, they just decided they're going to go with this like little 10-page half-sized pamphlet. It was still full color, like the big magazine ones, where the little ones are usually, the schedule's just usually a black and white thing because it's just a schedule. They don't need to be in color. And so these were about half the size, like half the height of the magazine ones, and only about 10 or so pages long. And the only way that I knew they existed before I saw the post, which was already after con ended, it was Saturday actually. So it was Saturday night, like in the middle of the night, I think. So it was right before the con ended. And someone had mentioned it, and that's the only other time I heard about them. One of our roommates actually had one. So I saw it on Thursday. So that's just how I knew ahead of time that they had them. But I didn't even know where he got it from or whatever. And that might sound weird because you're like, oh, you got it from registration, right? Apparently not. Well, I mean, apparently, yes, that's where you go and get it, or the info booth later on during the convention. They'd probably have it. Didn't care at that point, no, because I didn't want it, so it didn't matter to me. I told Atlas go to info if you want it, if you really want it that bad, but he ended up not caring at all either. So it was fine for us. But just so you guys know, if you want those kind of things, go to the info booth if you don't get it at registration. But if you do go to registration and they don't hand it to you, ask them for it. I didn't think of that. Neither of us did. So when we went to registration or pre-reg to pick up our badges, not only did they not give them to us, they also didn't have them anywhere in sight so we could even see that they had them, but they also didn't tell us that they had them or offer them to us. So we had no idea that they even existed until we were already done. So if you want one, just ask at registration. If a con doesn't have them and they make you go digital and make you do an app, I mean, it sucks, but it doesn't bother me because I don't care. I don't go to the events. I do my own thing. It's not a big deal to me. I don't know. But if it's a big deal to you, be sure to ask them at registration, hey, do you guys still have the guides and the schedule and everything like that? And they'll tell you if they do or not, and they'll give them to you if they do. But people see that as a negative because there's a lot of people who like collecting those. I have, like I said, I have a bunch of them from previous years. I don't have all of them because I don't really care, like I said. But some just stashed away that I never got rid of. Others got lost because I just, again, don't care. They're probably in bins somewhere. I don't know. But in some of them, I think I might have even left at conventions. I don't remember. But either way, I didn't care, so it's not a big deal to me. But if it's a big deal to you, like I said, just ask staff, and they'll see what they can do. And then this year, Sakuracon did have an app. They usually use Guidebook for an app, a digital way to do things. This year, they decided to have their own app. I have no idea what it is. I didn't download it because I don't care. Atlas downloaded it, and he did all this. He was able to look at it and stuff. The problem with digital, though, is a lot of these places, a lot of the convention centers, they don't have good Wi-Fi or no Wi-Fi at all because you can never get onto it because there's thousands of people on it. And that just slows the bandwidth down like crazy. But then also there's basically no phone service, like the actual like 5G and stuff. So like it just doesn't make it through the building into your phone. You just don't have service. I had multiple times where the little service bar, the little triangle bar that has the bars, the small bar to the big bar, they tell you how much service you have. Or well, it fills up now. It used to be separate bars, but you know what I mean. Where it would on the larger side, it would have an explanation point, which means no service. It means your service is gone. You can't use your phone other than emergency calls. That's it. Yeah, so that happened to my phone every time I walked in the building. So I wasn't able to do anything. I couldn't meet up with people because I couldn't get any messages. I couldn't message anyone. I would have to go all the way outside, go up or down escalators or whatever to get to an area that's outside in order to get service back. So it was horrible. But that I'm used to that because it's been like that ever since I've been starting going. So there's nothing you can do about it. But it makes it hard because when you have an app and that's your only way to do things, like the little pamphlet thing that we got, we didn't get, but people got, the little half thing, didn't have a schedule in it because it was only 10 pages. It didn't have a schedule. So the only time you could see the schedule is by looking at the app, which means you needed to have Wi-Fi or service. So basically you had to go outside just to look at the app to see if something was happening. That's how bad it was. So that sucks. Nothing you can do about it, but it's whatever. Anyway, other than that, everything was fine. We had a great time. So I think this is one of the better years that I've gone because I actually got to do some good costumes and I got to hang out and get pictures of myself. People got pictures taken of myself, so I got a little bit of attention. But I also got to film stuff myself, and it was really fun. So, and then Atlas and I got to go to the restaurant a lot down in the lobby of the hotel. We were in the Sheraton, and they know us now. We've been there for 3 years and 4 conventions. Um, yeah, because we were there 2022, 23, and now 24 for Sakuracon. And then last year, 2023 at PAX, we ate there. And so they remembered us then. And so every time we come, they remember us. And they remember like what we eat and stuff like that and what we drink. And they bring us the things that we like, which is pretty cool because we go down there so often. Like when we're there, we eat at that restaurant so often that they recognize our faces now. So that's awesome. But anyway, yeah, so I don't think there's anything else to really say because I really can't think of anything that happened other than we got to do things and we were left alone from staff. So we didn't have any problems with anybody. We didn't have any problems with attendees either. Everyone was fine. Like there was nobody pushing around, nobody like doing weird stuff that we could find anyway. We didn't see any of that at all. There was just a lot of people having fun. And so that made it a much better experience. I do not give grades. Like I don't give like an A or a C plus or whatever, or I don't do like a 1 through 5 star or whatever. I just give you the information of what happened the year that I'm talking about, and then you decide if you want to go for the next year, or if you think that's a convention you might want to go to. So yeah. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. So if you like it, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.